there, Colin and Powers. Hope you're having a great day today. It's your video lesson. So your two things we want to talk about. I'll talk about those two things, and if you have questions at the end of this or want me to look at anything, feel free to send a message on it. I'm more than happy to answer. So let's get to it. So what I'm going to go over today is what we building off of last time, making sure we have a good sitting position, and then make sure that we're focusing on the next steps for his new song, Lightly Row. So with the sitting position, making sure that he's in good heart-to-heart, has his footstool and grab my footstool, even though you can't really see it. Making sure our foot's up on the gas pedal. Bump that up one more. Making sure that we have our foot on the gas pedal. Make sure you have a good position. And then, as usual, what you can do is put poppers on his guitar, some sort of toy. So I put a popper right here on top of his upper bout, one on his knee right here. And then if you could put another one on his foot, even though you can't see it, put one on his foot right there, making sure we hold a really good sitting position. I had in my notes last time that he was able to hold it 30 seconds. To see if we can do that today. And hold it for 30 seconds. And then after the 30 seconds, see if he can add one note at a time with his flowers. So you play G and still hold the position. Then we can do that. You do G, A, making sure we still hold good position. And then G, A, B, and then continue add on G, A, B, C. And then the final one, G, A, B, C, D, 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 D. So making sure that his poppers stay in place and he's able to hold his position while adding extra notes to the flowers pattern. That way, when he's playing in the future, you want to really avoid a lot of this stuff right here. If you start getting into this habit now, it's a lot harder to fix later on. So making sure that we keep our guitar upright, we have a good sitting position. So work on that for me. Other thing is Lightly Row, like I said before. With that one, listen to it a lot. The more he listens to these songs, the better off he's gonna be, because he'll start hearing what the melodies sound like. Because if you try to remember long strings of information, there's only so much that you can remember without having like a frame of reference. So listening to recording a couple of times a day would go a long way in how fast. I actually did an experiment one time where I asked him to not listen to the song because he didn't want to. And I was like, okay, you don't have to listen to the song, but I'm gonna let it go for 2 weeks like that. If you don't listen, it doesn't sound good at the end of the 2 weeks, you have to listen to the song. And what ended up happening was he ended up having to listen to the song because he couldn't remember. But the second he started listening to the song, he heard where all the things were going, right? So he knew when he played a right note or wrong note when he went to go figure out the next one. So he has this part so far. He has the D, B, B, that's the Lightly Row. The next part's gonna be this. C, right here on the first fret, second string, A, and I would do those pieces separately. D, B, B, and then C, A. So do D, B, B first, and then after that, have them do C, A. And spend the first part of the week having those separate. And then if that's all going well this week, then what you can do is see if you can put those two things together. D, B, B, C, A. And like I said, having a really great sitting position or comfortable sitting position in the beginning saves a lot of headaches later on. So the stuff where you work on just sitting position, that's totally acceptable. I mean, when I was in graduate school, that's what I did with some lessons for Ricardo. He actually worked on like how I was holding the guitar. Even at that level, he was tweaking things. So if he gets used to the idea of like, okay, this is the sitting position, it's gonna be a much easier time later on. Otherwise, when we get to more advanced songs where we're moving around on the fretboard, if his guitar is all over the place, it's gonna be really hard to play. So it's kind of like, imagine if your piano bench was moving around on him all the time, right? So work on that for me. Like I said, if you have questions, let me know. If not, I will catch you next week. Take care.